All right, welcome to NBA Wednesday, presented by State Farm. Tonight, the Boston Celtics rolling into the Bay Area, where many here believe that all roads and paths to the NBA championship still run through Oakland and Oracle Arena. The home team back at the crib for the first time in 8 days. They played 5 games away from home, traversed about 8,000 miles. Steph Curry still poised, focused, and ready, and a great point to guard tonight. And a matchup against Isaiah Thomas. Hello, everybody. I'm Mark Jones alongside Jeff Van Gundy. Jay Adonde joining us in just a bit. Hey, Coach, Golden State making big headlines last week. They lost 2 games in a row for the first time in almost 2 years. They lost Kevin Durant, their leading scorer, and Steph Curry, the 2-time MVP, went through an unprecedented shooting slump.
And despite all that, Mark, they're the clear favorite to win it all, particularly if Durant gets back to even approximating full strength. Curry's had an underrated year. There's been so much other MVP talk, but he's having another spectacular season.
Hey, he's got a lot on his plate tonight with Isaiah Thomas of Boston.
Well, Thomas is right in that hunt for the MVP as well. Think about his career arc. 60th pick in the draft to now an MVP candidate, averaging 29.5 points and one of the best closers in the sport.
Isaiah Thomas leading the NBA in fourth quarter scoring on a record pace as we take a look at tonight's starting lineups. Thomas and Bradley in the backcourt. Bradley still working his way back into form after that Achilles injury. Crowder, Horford, and Amir Johnson up front for the Celtics. Meanwhile, Patrick McCaw is making his 7th start of the season and his 3rd since KD was injured, joining Green and Pachulia in the front court. The Splash Brothers lining up in the backcourt for the Golden State Warriors. And we are underway. Curry up court for Golden State. The second meeting of the season between these two teams. Golden State winning the first in Boston back in November off the miss. Thomas locks it up for Boston. Boston coming off 2 consecutive losses, both of them very disheartening, against Phoenix and against the Clippers a couple of nights ago. Crowder goes inside to Horford, who returns to the starting lineup and game action after missing the last 2 with an elbow injury. Boston basketball, Crowder to inbound. Thomas back out to Avery Bradley, and they don't get it off in time. You know, we talk all the time about Golden State's prodigious offensive numbers, Coach. They're number 1 in field goal percentage defense and 2 in efficiency.
Exactly. They're a dominant team. That's what you do. You're great at both ends. They're special. And it's been that way for quite some time now.
Pachulia working from the elbow. Curry. Nice feed. And Green tried to get it back to him. 4 on the shot clock. Green has to launch. And here's Thomas.
And he took umbrage with Mike Budenholzer, the Atlanta coach, saying you can't game plan for him. I think Mike Budenholzer was very complimentary about Draymond Green, but you have to focus your game plan on Klay Thompson and Steph Curry. Not the 3-point line, but the layup game. And just hope the other guys aren't making their 3-point shots.
That's what Green does. A good passer as well. McCaw missing. Pachulia finding Amir Johnson. They're going to jump it up. So says our crew chief. Official tonight, Mike Callahan, joined by David Guthrie and Carl Lane. Golden State Warriors playing their 4th game now without Kevin Durant. Thompson back out to Green. Thompson with the floater, and he knocks down the first bucket of the ball game. Klay Thompson coming off a 13-point game, 5 of 12 against the Hawks a couple of nights ago. Bradley lost the handle. Clay for three. Got it.
Textbook jump shot in transition. The Celtics, though, 3 straight turnovers to start the game.
We've got a little over a month to go in the regular season, and that was Klay Thompson's 200th three-point field goal.
Well, they switched the handoff. Green with great hands, and then Curry with the hard push. And that's a ridiculously hard shot on the run that Klay Thompson makes it look absolutely effortless.
And Thompson shooting 41% from downtown in the season. Horford. And Thompson with the board. Golden State went 3-2 on their 5-game road trip. Good defense by Bradley. Curry finds Green again from downtown, and he misses again. Coach, how tricky is that first game at home? We always hear about it and talk about it. The fact that Golden State actually has to leave after the game tonight for 2 more on the road, starting with Minnesota.
Well, the NBA would say that's a quirk in scheduling. I would say you need a better computer.
Green missed the slam, looked for the foul, and Bradley shows him how it's done at the other end.
You know, you think about it, they're out for 5, they come back for 1, and then fly to Minnesota and play back-to-back in San Antonio. And Boston has a ridiculous schedule, too. They're going to Denver, and then 26 hours later, they're playing at home at 3:30 in the afternoon on Sunday.
Avery Bradley a little strong off the backboard. And remember, Golden State with a huge game coming up against San Antonio Saturday night on ABC. Curry in traffic. That was tipped into the backcourt with 9 on the shot clock. Thompson blows by Horford. Great fake. Hit him with the sauce. And Klay Thompson is 3 for 5 and out of the gate quickly with all 7 Warriors points.
Horford looks reluctant to shoot the 3 tonight so far.
Wonder how much that has to do with his elbow injury. Missed a couple games. Bad pass by Green, who turns it over. Bradley on another break. Avery Bradley got blocked. Curry runs to the three-point line and launches, draws the foul. And Crowder caught him on the arm. He'll go to the line.
Well, the bad pass. Green, excellent effort in transition. And a nice find by Green after the block. And clearly, Crowder fouls him on the three-point attempt.
Green, 2-time all-defensive first-team member as Curry knocks down the first free throw. Steph Curry shooting 91% from the free throw line. And for the first time in his career, he hit a low point with respect to his three-point shooting in 3 consecutive games. But for him, a slump is defined a little bit differently.
He's dipped under 40% from the three-point line. But that's when you're struggling and you're shooting 39.9 on as many attempts as he's taken, it's okay.
Doing all right, as is his team, up by 8. Just underway here in the first quarter. Thomas with a quick trigger draws the hit from Curry. That's going to be his first second team foul. And it looked like Thomas was in three-point territory. Now they're going to review this. He was clearly behind the three-point line.
But I'm not sure he was clearly fouled.
I don't think they're reviewing that, though.
No, we review stuff that's I hate how this is evolving in our game. Guys going up on handoffs, acting like they've been fouled dramatically. It's just another variation of the flop. You see every team is perfecting this acting job.
Tough game to officiate as Thomas knocks down the first. Isaiah Thomas, you were alluding to it a little bit earlier, Coach, when you talked about his career arc. You think back to the fact that he started last season as a reserve coming off the bench, to the point where he is now the second leading scorer in the NBA behind only Russell Westbrook, and leading the league in clutch scoring, or at least fourth quarter scoring, at over 10 points per quarter. A 10-5 lead for the Warriors. Curry, nice ball fake, and got the reverse to fall.
He's an unbelievable layup maker now.
And back the other way in transition, Green. Thompson steps into it. These are a couple of teams that are amongst the league leaders in three-point field goal attempts per game. That time Crowder gets a 2 inside off the nice dime from Al Horford.
And Al Horford's their second leading assist man. His reemergence into the lineup really is going to help their ball movement as Curry knocks in an off the dribble 3.
Eight-point lead for Golden State. Warriors 2.5 games up on San Antonio in the Western Conference. And as I mentioned, a big one coming up between those two teams Saturday night on ABC. Crowder on the baseline, rims out, and Thompson with the board. Curry has scored the last 8 in a row for the Warriors. Running through a labyrinth of screens, Zaza takes out his do-it-yourself kit and comes up short. Avery Bradley on the pull-up, got it. You know what's interesting, Coach? What do you make of the fact that Boston did make a trade deadline deal, pretty much stood pat, and the way they look at it with Avery Bradley coming back from his injury, it's like almost getting a player in a sense.
Well, and also you don't know what was offered and what they could have done. I think it's just saying they should have done something as Thomas knocks in the 3 is ludicrous, because you don't know what was out there. They have a plenty deep team. Now they've got some things that they need to improve on. Number one is rebounding, but good rebounding is hard to find.
Washington Wizards trying to close in on Isaiah Thomas and the Boston Celtics in that number 2 spot. Back after this.
Welcome back to Oakland, where before the game, Kevin Durant walked very stiffly through the Warriors locker room, strapped on a big leg brace, and then used crutches to enter the interview room to meet with the media. He would not commit to a return date before the regular season. He said he didn't want to worry about that. He did say his left knee is making progress. He has increased range of motion, is able to straighten it out, and he's even taken a few free throws while seated in a chair. Other than that, he says he's been just chilling, watching movies. Remember, the Warriors, when they announced the sprained ligament on March 1st, gave a 4-week date for a reevaluation, not a return, a reevaluation, and we'll see from there. Let's go to Mark Jones and Jeff Van Gundy.
Yeah, never a good sight when you saw him walking as gingerly as he was as JaVale McGee banks home the hook shot. They thought the skyhook was dead, Jeff.
It is.
Another 3-ball by Isaiah Thomas. Now 2 for 2 from downtown. He's got a quick 9 points. Curry with 8. Green, the short roll, couldn't find McGee. Well defended by Amir Johnson. Iguodala subbed into the ballgame during the break. On the break, nice dive to McGee, who blows the layup, and Curry had his back. Thomas, another 3. This one is off, out of bounds. It'll be Golden State basketball.
And that was a great screen by Amir Johnson to free Thomas for the wide open three.
Well, speaking of Isaiah Thomas, it was news for the Celtics last couple of days in wake of the loss against the Los Angeles Clippers when they pilfered a 13-point lead in the third quarter and ended up losing. He put his team and his coaching staff and himself on blast, saying basically they blew the game as McCaw gets the layup. And in wake of that, made a text or phone call to his head coach Brad Stevens saying, hey coach, I wasn't throwing anybody under the bus. And on cue he gets the layup. Now has 11. Says I wasn't throwing anyone under the bus. I just basically have to do a better job of controlling myself post game when things are emotional. Iguodala for three. Here's Smart matched up against Curry, trying to back him down. Crowder lost the handle. Barnes on the break. And he couldn't finish. A frenetic and frenzied pace so far to this game. Smart to Johnson, had it knocked out of bounds. It'll stay Boston basketball. Catch your breath. These are two of the top fast break teams in the league. Isaiah Thomas with 11 points already in the ball game, 2 of 3 from behind the arc, and squelching some of the beef that the team had in wake of their 2-game losing streak.
I was going off emotion, and I felt like that's just how I felt. And I talked to Brad about it. And I got to do a better job in those situations, but at the same time, I'm going to speak my mind, especially with being a leader on this team. I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus. That's not who I am. And I made sure Brad knew I wasn't throwing him under the bus. That's just how I felt at that point in time. And I want what's best for this team. And I know by being the leader and that guy, when I say things, they're going to get blown out of proportion, especially when we lose a few in a row. If we would have won it, I said that, it wouldn't even been a problem.
Well, and Brad Stevens, head coach of the Celtics, said that he certainly didn't lose any sleep over Thomas's comments. Curry misfiring on the three. McGee doing a nice job inside, but couldn't get the putback to go. Coach, do you think when a player is as proficient and as hardworking and leads by example the way Thomas does, he has enough equity to express himself the way that he did in wake of that loss?
Well, as long as he's holding himself accountable for his play, you know, he referenced the Phoenix game in some ways as Barnes finds McGee for a nice hoop, and he's the one that turned it over late. And so just as long as he's holding himself accountable, that he looks inward first. And listen, emotional players right after the game are going to say some things that sometimes go a little bit overboard. And I think that's understandable. You know, Marcus Smart had an earlier incident this year on the bench, and he's one of the hardest competing guys they have. So you can either focus on the 1% you'd like to change in the guy, or not the 99% that you love about him.
Yeah. I've heard a lot of coaches say, I'd rather have to turn guys down than turn them up.
Well, you can't turn them up.
Here's Curry. Probing. Whistle looked like he stepped out of bounds on the baseline. That's the third turnover of the ball game for the Warriors. But Curry off to a good start here with 10 points in the first quarter. Boston Celtics keeping an eye on the Wizards, who won tonight. Ball knocked out of bounds. Both the Wizards and Celtics chasing the Cavaliers, who have now lost their most recent acquisition, Andrew Bogut. How strange did you think that was? I mean, less than a minute into the game.
Just so unfortunate for him and Cleveland. I don't know what the impact will be, obviously, for their play or their title chances. I think he would have been a bit player, but for him, you feel badly. Yeah. And they're going to Smart in the post over and over again. Other than Isaiah Thomas, he's the only guy that gets to the free throw line.
Jaylen Brown with the extra pass to Terry Rozier, and he gets the hockey assist. Started up top, and Boston back to within one. Little 2-for-1 situation, McCaw. Iguodala goes to work on the rookie and took him to school. Iguodala had a great night for the Hawks against the Hawks off the bench for the Warriors, scoring a season-high 24 points that made Coach Kerr say that he looked like he was 25 years old again. Rozier. And that's the end of the first quarter of play. Golden State leading by 3, and this is the second run of the season between these two teams, and the 2-point guards putting up good numbers when we come back to Oracle.
Welcome back to Oakland. We're with Brad Stevens. 15 early points for the Warriors starting backcourt. How were you guys able to overcome that barrage and stay in the game?
Well, I thought we were pretty locked in on what we were trying to do. Those guys will make some plays. We need to clean up the baskets around the rim that they're getting from their bigs. But those guys are going to make some plays, obviously. They're really good players. We just need to hang around.
What else do you emphasize to your team heading into the second quarter?
Just continue cutting, moving the ball on the other end. Be solid on this end of the floor. Make them earn everything.
Thanks a lot, Brad. Go back to Mark Jones and Jeff Van Gundy.
All right, Jay, here's Golden State with the ball. Celtics rank 13th in field goal percentage defense as Iguodala hurts them from outside. You heard Stevens emphasize their defense. Steph on the bench getting a breather. Start the second quarter. Meanwhile, for the Warriors, David West, Andre Iguodala, and Sean Livingston, 3 bench players on the floor. And they were huge in that victory in Atlanta a couple of nights ago as Horford throws it away. Last 3 games, especially that Hawks victory. And they were integral in keeping the team in the game and actually winning it. Green off the nice David West feed.
They like him as a passer from both the low post and up in the elbow area. That's a nice play by David West.
David West, a solid veteran. And great locker room presence. And Steve Kerr actually saying that he's a good impact, has a good influence on Draymond Green. Here he passes to Thompson. And they turn it over. 2-on-1 for the Celtics. Olynyk with the slam at the other end. And Boston back to within 3.
I never understand with players when they don't get the call they want, stopping and not running back. Like, who does that show up? Yeah. Klay Thompson did it right there. I just don't get that part of how the game's developed.
Yeah. Certainly doesn't help at the defensive end when you're outmanned. Thompson got it back at the other end. Iguodala with the rebound off the Rozier miss. Golden State 52-11 coming into the game tonight. And Thompson turns it over. Celtics with a 4-on-1. Rozier, nice finish over West. And Boston hanging in. It was interesting to hear Brad Stevens say that he doesn't think that his Celtics team is quite as good as their 40-24 record.
I actually think they're better than that.
Really? What makes you say that?
I think the schedule is going to turn in their favor. They only have, after this game, 6 more road games? Right. I think they are one of the smartest teams in the league. They play to their identity as Horford gets a 3-point play opportunity.
So you're not endorsing the Bill Parcells, you are where your record says you are?
Well, you are with the qualification. that the schedule is a factor in a big hoop by Al Horford.
Welcome back to NBA Wednesday, presented by State Farm from Oracle Arena in Oakland, California. Right now, Warriors leading by 1 as we take a look at who has figured it out. Brought to you by Metro PCS.
Well, the Warriors are such a good defensive team that you have to turn them over some and get out in transition. Here, the steal by Smart and the layup by Olynyk. Then another turnover forced by Olynyk and a nice skill level by the Boston Bigs, leading to another fast break opportunity.
Meanwhile, Horford at the free throw line for the Celtics. Horford back in the lineup after missing a couple of games with that elbow injury. And Boston now in the midst of a 9-2 run. Livingston out top. Isaiah Thomas still on the bench for Boston, as is Steph Curry. Thompson off the screen. Boy, that's almost automatic. He's got 11.
That's just textbook. The ability to cut hard, catch square, and balance up. It's just beautiful.
Marcus Smart. Good closeout and block by Thompson. A little bit of contact, no call on the play. Little two-man game with Green and West. Thompson out again. This time comes up short. That's a good matchup. Smart is a real good defender for the Celtics. Horford inside off the good dime by Rozier. Boston tying the game at 36. Green reluctant to take the three after missing the first couple that he took. West, little jab step and comes up firing off the mark.
And that was excellent defense off the ball by Marcus Smart, chasing Klay Thompson over multiple screens.
Jaylen Brown cuts to the basket, gets the feed, and one. And the Celtics take their first lead of the ball game as Jaylen Brown gets the layup back in the Bay where he played his collegiate basketball, just up the highway at Cal.
Well, they doubled off of Brown, and Brown with a catch, nudged by West, and a great left-hand finish.
We talk about some of the upshoot of having Avery Bradley injured. Jaylen Brown got a lot of minutes, coach, and in the process over the last couple of months has almost doubled his present scoring average.
He's an elite athlete.
7 minutes to go in the first half. Boston by 2. On a night when the San Antonio Spurs have already won. West tried to play a little bully ball on Olynyk, and he wasn't having it. Both coaches wired for sound tonight.
Stay with it. Stay with it. We're playing fine. Couple turnovers hurt us. That's all right. Stay with it. Take care of the ball. We'll be in good shape.
We're doing a pretty good job of being where we want to be defensively. Stay with those guys. Stay underneath it. Make it as tough as possible.
Words from the sidelines. Olynyk underneath. Coach, my favorite piece of video this year from the sidelines has to be that Steve Kerr-Steph Curry exchange in the game that you did Sunday in New York when he said, look at the stat sheet. Don't worry about it. You're having an impact on the game regardless.
Yeah, again, there's a lot that goes into coaching, as Avery Bradley with a great strip. Obviously, the Wired, you get very generic, usual, because they can't give away strategy. Yeah. So that was a nice bit of video that found its way onto the air.
You ever told one of your players, go on, my son?
Yeah, when I cut him.
Here's what it sounded like.
Here's what I'm going to show you. That's your shooting totals. That's your plus minus. All right, so it's not always tied together. You're doing great stuff out there. The tempo is so different when you're out there. Everything you generate for us is so positive. It shows up here, not always there, but it always shows up here. You're doing great. Let's do both. Carry on, my son.
So you're saying you never use that empathetic approach with your players?
No, empathy. I'm not sure I was that. But I had never had 50 wins and 10 losses or whatever what it was either. So
yeah, it's trying to talk a 40% three-point shooter into shooting still, you know. As Sean Livingston drills one from his sweet spot right around that foul line. Boston still leading by 2, though. 5.5 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Bradley had it partially blocked by Livingston. Nice feed inside to Pachulia. And Zaza hesitated and missed the layup. And commits the foul as well. Steph Curry with 10 points in the ball game. We'll be back to Oakland after this. All right, Michelle, and hey, your Spurs gonna run a big one against the Warriors Saturday night, primetime game on ABC, battle between the two top teams in the West. Steph and the Warriors, Kawhi and the Spurs. Our coverage tips with NBA Countdown at 8, the biggest games of the season, with the biggest stars of the NBA every Saturday night. And Jeff, after that late game sequence that Kawhi had against Houston the other night, the clutch three, the block on Harden, where is he in your MVP balloting? Not that that affected it all that much,
no,
if at all.
Listen, he's not behind, and that's great defense by the Warriors. He's not behind anyone. You know, like, to me, he's clearly the best defender of the people being considered. He only has one he's the only all-star, and they're 2 games behind a team that has 4 all-stars. So
speaks to the gravity of his impact. Yeah.
There's no question. His numbers are off the chart. His defense is the best in the league. Like I said, if I had to vote today, he could easily be the MVP.
Yeah, his numbers, career high numbers across the board for Kawhi at 26.3 per game, 6 boards, 3.4 assists, and you know, the triple-double is a little bit of an asterisk or a disclaimer. I mean, nobody else has done it outside of Oscar.
Well, here's the thing. When you start comparing, unfortunately, comparison is the thief of joy. You always seem to diminish somebody. Yeah. All those guys are having incredibly good years as Barnes hustles back and blocks a shot. So when I say I'd vote for Kawhi Leonard or Harden 1-2 either way, it's not diminishing what those other guys are doing. But you think about what, you know, LeBron James having another fantastic year, and I think they've lost 20 times, right? Yeah. With 2 other All-Stars. Now there's been some injuries on their team, but I'm just so impressed as Johnson finishes with Kawhi Leonard. You know, he's a 90% free throw shooter, comes up big late. Great player.
Continues to improve, which is kind of scary too. Here's Curry off the screen from Green. Kicks it out to Patrick McCaw. He's made some of those. That time misfires, but the Warriors with another possession. Steph dribbled into traffic, threw up a wild shot. Oh, he's living right. It looked like Olynyk might have tipped it in. Off the turnover. Steph for 3, a deep one, and that was way right. Thomas hit the deck, no call, and up and down we go. Barnes tried to find Pachulia, went back to Curry. Inside to Zaza, who draws the foul on Amir Johnson. I told you these 2 teams got up and down. Like the traffic on the Bay Area Bridge, but sometimes you find the right lane. Back after this. Welcome back, everyone, to Oracle. Battle between second in the East and the best in the West and the best overall. Right now, the Warriors with a 2-game lead over San Antonio going into that big showdown Saturday night on ABC. There it is. It'll be at 8:30. It all starts at 8 o'clock with NBA Countdown. Here's a look at our menu. TNT Thursday doubleheader with the Spurs in it. NBA TV Friday has Golden State at Minnesota and a host of games. Iguodala, meanwhile, with a bucket. He's got 9. The Celtics already with 15 assists on 18 field goals. One on the shot clock. Thomas back rimmed it. And Crowder with the board out of bounds and a foul on Klay Thompson. And that's going to put them in the penalty. The Celtics will shoot. We saw Boston trailing Cleveland in the Eastern Conference. They still have hopes of catching them. As I want to tell you, coming up on the Toyota halftime, Steph, Jalen, and Chauncey, Michelle, Jalen, and Chauncey in the studio talking about that Isaiah Steph matchup tonight here. Michelle Beadle with a lot of giddy up in her gallop these days with her Spurs hot on the heels of these Warriors. Iguodala rising up. Crowder. Bradley couldn't get the follow. 3 guys hit the deck. Cross court to McCall. Inside, Thompson with the layup.
Klay Thompson is so good off the ball. Constantly moving, finding his way to layups.
Horford inside.
Got to shoot that, though.
8 on the shot clock for Smart. Not a great three-point shooter. And the run out for Green. Room service. And Stevens calls timeout. And welcome back, everyone, to Oakland. Klay Thompson with 13 points. And finding a good rhythm after a slow start to his season.
Well, you watch the skip pass and then the cut against Smart. And then a well-defended play by the Warriors into the leak out by Green. And that full court pass by Curry right on the money.
Warriors did a little team bonding during their 5-game road trip, and it was interesting amongst things they did. Draymond Green describing to me, Jeff, the helicopter ride that he took while he was in New York. Had some business meetings with his sponsors and other money people, and from Westchester down to the city, couldn't take the Merritt Parkway, you know, like you used to do, and up in the New York area. And
wow, he
took a chopper, man.
It's like 40-minute drive.
He told me he wouldn't have been able to make his meetings without the helicopter. So part of the benefits. Amongst other things, Steph and JaVale McGee went to a taping of Saturday Night Live while they're in New York. And they're back on the road after this one tonight. Thompson comes up firing. Green keeping it alive, and Curry with the rebound. Pass tipped out of bounds. It'll stay Golden State basketball. 19 on the shot clock, 38 to go in the half.
I think Boston's defense has been terrific here tonight, as has Golden State's.
Golden State on an 8-1 run. Green with the floater, got it.
That's the shot he's got to take. They commit 2 to the ball. He rolls to the rim. He's got a nice float game. Works on it all the time.
Boston, meanwhile, has missed its last 8 shots in a row. Nice cut by Smart, and he blows an easy one. Plenty of time for the Warriors. 6 on the clock for Curry. And a foul going to be called against the Celtics. That's going to go against Isaiah Thomas, his first. They had a foul to give. 5.5 to go. And Steve Kerr going to draw one up. We'll take a break too and come right back after this. Hey, our next NBA Sunday Showcase comes from Boston. Jimmy Butler and the Bulls taking on IT and the Celtics at 3:30 Eastern on ABC. NBA Countdown with Sage and Jalen get you ready for the game at 3 prior to tip. Well, there is a bunch of teams, Coach, from 6 on through 10 that are in hot competition for those final 3 spots. And Detroit losing tonight.
I'll tell you, Miami to me is the story of the NBA this year. 11-30, and now 31-34. Great job by everyone in the Heat organization.
Yeah, Spoelstra finding the switch. Here's Green for 3. That's the way his night has been from downtown in the first half. Golden State, though, closes the half on a 10-1 run to lead 50-46. And a look at our leading scorer so far, Steph Curry, the 2-time reigning MVP, with 12. Thompson, the other half of the Splash Brothers, with 13. And Thomas, after a hot first quarter, stuck on 11. But he is Mr. Fourth Quarter, so stick around. Stay tuned, folks, for the Toyota halftime coming up right after these messages. The Warriors and Celtics, West against East. Welcome back, everyone, to NBA Wednesday from Oracle Arena in Oakland, California, presented by State Farm. East meets West, Boston against the Warriors, as it's time for tonight's most interesting stats, brought to you by Dos Equis. And you go down the numbers in the columns. What's not shown is that both teams passing the ball very well, 15 and 13 assists respectively. We have the, well, 2 of the top 3 teams in assists per game. Golden State #1 in the league.
Have I said Dos Equis wrong?
Dos Equis.
Is that how you're supposed to say it? You have such a
2 years
great,
of Spanish.
That's very good. That's very good. You are very
Dos
interesting.
Equis.
All right.
You're the world's most interesting analyst.
Yeah.
Mark Jones, Jeff Van Gundy, Jay Adonde joining us in just a bit. Coach, as we take a look at tonight's right combination, brought to you by State Farm, the Splash Brothers got going early for Golden State.
Yeah, 10 of 18 combined, half of Golden State's points. But I think Boston's defense has been good there after a switch. Klay Thompson with the show and go. And here, Curry does not get enough credit for his great layup making ability. And then the step back 3 off the dribble, impossible to defend.
Look at the numbers for the 2, still a little bit cold from downtown, 2 of 8. Remember, both of them coming off an unprecedented slump with respect to their 3-point shooting. Meanwhile, Isaiah Thomas had a big first quarter, but then cooled off in the second period.
Yeah, their bench really was the key for them in that first half, but Isaiah Thomas is obviously the spark that drives the Celtics. And he's such a good shooter in so many ways. They're off the dribble. Here he's very good at using screens. You know, even though he didn't have a bucket in the second quarter, he's the guy that's going to propel them if they're going to win here tonight.
He's led them in scoring in 28 consecutive games, closing in on Kobe Bryant, who holds the record at 40 as we go down to Jay.
Well, Brad Stevens would agree with Jeff Van Gundy. He's very happy with their defense so far. It feels like they're accomplishing what they want on that end of the court. Offensively, as long as they just finish a little bit better inside, he thinks they're right where they want to be. Mark?
All right, keep in mind, folks, the last time that these two teams met here at Oracle Golden State had a 36-game home court winning streak on the line. Yes, they had won 36 in a row. And Isaiah Thomas and the Celtics came in here and beat them. That was last April. Thomas splits the double team, and his floater game is pure.
But he worked so hard there. He took one trap, gave it up, and then a good hand back situation that he was able to split.
Lead down to 2. Curry coming off some baseline screens. Gets open from downtown and misses. Good block out by Amir Johnson on Zaza Pachulia. Avery Johnson has been, pardon me, Avery Bradley. Avery Johnson stopped playing a long time ago. He's coaching at Alabama. Avery Bradley passes it out of bounds to nobody in particular, but he's just 2 of 9. And how tough is it for a guy like that coming off Achilles injury to get back into a rhythm?
Well, particularly you don't know if he's still healthy or not.
Bradley with the rebound.
And he's a defensive-minded guy. I think he's taken some tough shots here tonight as Horford makes the 3.
And Steve Kerr calls timeout quickly for Golden State. We've seen their 4-point lead evaporate in the opening seconds of the third. I want to say Minnesota won, what, 29 games last year? So at this pace, they're going to pass last year's total.
They've actually played better since the injury to Levine, which doesn't make sense because he's such a good player. As Pachulia gets a dunk. All of Karl Anthony Towns or Wiggins or Levine's individual talents have to translate into winning at some point. And hopefully it's starting now. That's a heck of a win against a Clipper team that's very good.
Yeah. Here's Steph in transition off the block. Went through Horford's legs out of bounds. It'll remain Warriors basketball. And coach, to put a period on your point about Minnesota, earlier this season, first 2 months, I don't think there was a team in the league that lost more close games than them, and maybe a function of their youth.
And after having some big leads, I think some 15-point leads. So it's not that they can't or weren't capable of playing good basketball as Curry is fouled. They've played some good basketball. Defensively, though, they've been very inconsistent, and their best players defensively have been the ones that have been inconsistent.
That foul was against Isaiah Thomas, team's first, his first. And Thompson with a nice ball fake on Avery Bradley. Gets it to fall. Golden State back up by 3. Just underway here in the third quarter. Mark Jones courtside along with Jeff Van Gundy and J.A. Adonde. That shot a little bit short. Talking about the Western Conference standings at the moment. San Antonio trailing Golden State by 2 games. You'll see those two head-to-head Saturday night, ABC from San Antonio. Thompson kicks it out to Draymond Green. Boy, you love to see the movement in that Golden State offense. Perpetual motion. Ball knocked out of bounds. It'll stay Warriors basketball. Thompson raising up and knocking another one down over Bradley.
So on the last possession, he scored on side out of bounds. Now he gets a similar shot on baseline out of bounds. Good execution by the Warriors.
Up by 5. Horford against Pachulia. Tough shot by Avery Bradley. Didn't find the mark. Boy, Draymond's so good at that bust-out dribble leading the break. Gives it to Curry. Patrick McCaw from downtown. McCaw making his 7th start of the season tonight. And his 3rd since Kevin Durant was injured. Amir Johnson off the nice Crowder dime. Pachulia at the elbow. Boy, a lot of traffic there. Whistle, and that's going to be an offensive foul against Pachulia, who leveled Isaiah Thomas. That's his second.
It was a good handoff. I think he finished him off with that right there. It's a good call and unnecessary by Pachulia.
Fans looking at the replay thinking that maybe Thomas sold it a bit.
Oh, everybody flopped. It's like epidemic.
And Amir Johnson with the floater makes it a 1-point game. Trying to post up Thompson against Isaiah Thomas. Now out on the wing, faces him up and fires right over the top of him. Crowder has a mismatch against Curry. And good help by Draymond Green. Tips it out of bounds. It'll remain Boston ball with 7 on the shot clock. Thomas launching. Got it! With a hand in his face. Well, that was a marvelous shot. Draymond Green leaving the floater short. Comes right out back to Thompson. A long two is good. Thompson has scored Golden State's last 8 points as Curry commits the foul on Isaiah Thomas with 6:47 to go here in the third quarter.
Loose ball just gets kicked out to Klay Thompson. He just rises up and knocks it in.
Bradley against Pachulia. Horford staring down Draymond Green. Thompson with a quick three. McCaw with the rebound. Thompson again. That's their first 3 since 3 minutes left in the first quarter. Out of bounds, Boston basketball.
Good loose ball play by the Warriors that leads into the wide open 3 by Thompson.
Thompson has scored the last 11 in a row for Golden State. Remember, this is a guy that has had a 37-point quarter. Still got time. How was that for a sell, Coach?
Absolutely.
Olynyk had it knocked away by Green. Curry gathers. Pachulia out to McCaw. Thompson. And Amir Johnson with the board. 5:40 to go in the third quarter. Boston down by 5. Marcus Smart draws the hit. Looks like it was on the shot.
Kelly Olynyk's had a really good night tonight. It's not just making his shots, the spacing he's creating. Right there, the extra pass that gets Smart to the free throw line. Highly skilled big.
Yeah, Smart, a 79% free throw shooter. As we take a look at the upcoming national TV schedule in the NBA. Thursday, San Antonio, Oklahoma City. Lakers, Phoenix. Friday, Golden State in Minnesota, part of a back-to-back. You'll see them Saturday on ABC at 8:30 Eastern Time. And Sunday has Chicago at Boston on our Sunday showcase.
tell you, Phoenix is playing good basketball right now.
What do you like about them, Coach?
I love Tyler Ulis. Their backcourt is playing very well as Curry takes a three, but I just think, you know, they've made some lineup changes. They're playing all young. They're playing with great enthusiasm. Their offense is still far ahead of their defense.
Yeah, Earl Watson doing a nice job. What a dime by Curry. McCaw couldn't gather in time, and he gave it to the other team. 2-on-1. Thomas says, I like the three. Boy, bodies flying all over the place, and Avery Bradley gets the putback to go. And it's a two-point contest. Keep in mind, Avery Bradley was the Celtics' leading rebounder before he was injured. Curry with a sick reverse. He's got 14. Boy, look at Curry. He's got both arms around Isaiah Thomas. Olynyk. What do you make of that Olynyk pass? You were singing his praises a moment ago. Kind of fell into Johnson's arms that time.
Yeah, sometimes you're lucky, and that's a good example of it.
Curry with the floater. Zaza with a couple of tips. Loose ball.
Amir Johnson's done a nice job for them tonight.
Oh, what a move by Thomas. And he kicked it out of bounds.
I mean, the ability, look at the crossover, but this ability to reverse layup, shield the shot blocker, and the exquisite concentration.
Andre Iguodala in the ball game. James Michael McAdoo getting set to check in. Matt Barnes also in. Curry with the three. Yes! Up to 17. And a foul going to go against Matt Barnes this time.
Excellent screen by Matt Barnes. Olynyk probably a step too low, but big time shot by Curry off a great screen by Barnes. And that's action right there that Boston runs for Isaiah Thomas as well.
Does it make it an easy scout?
No, because the players.
Oh, okay.
It's not the actions, okay. It's the players.
Olynyk got it back and draws the foul on James Michael McAdoo. McAdoo going to get an opportunity with KD out still. Almost looked like Olynyk was a little bit out of control and just fell. Marcus Smart. Livingston in transition for Golden State. Curry draws the hit. And instead will go to the line for a pair. Curry and Thompson have combined to score the last 16 points for Golden State. Now, Coach, every time I watch Curry play that, shoot free throws, 90%, 91 from the line, I think about the game that he and Steve Kerr play where they go against each other from the free throw line, the head-to-head one.
Who wins?
I think Kerr's only won once. You know, the rule is first 1 to 10 shooting free throws, and you get 1 point for a swish, no points for a make, -1 if you miss. And all the times that I've asked them, only one time has I heard that Steve Kerr's actually won. To think that it's close is even saying something for a guy that stopped playing a long time ago. As Olynyk gets the reverse layup.
Off a beautiful pass by Thomas.
Curry has scored the last 7 for the Warriors. Iguodala kicks it out to Matt Barnes.
But that's what you're gonna. That's good defense by Jerebko, clogging the lane and living with that 3.
Thomas blocked but fouled on his way to the bucket.
Well, it's a beautiful wraparound bounce pass by Thomas off the dribble to the cutting Olenek.
Welcome back, everyone, to NBA Wednesday, presented by State Farm from a raucous Oracle Arena. Free agency, folks, and the NFL counts down things and kicks things off Thursday at 2 Eastern on the ESPN app and watch ESPN. All the latest news as we count you down to when the new league year begins at 4. Adam Schefter headlines our coverage that includes a Schefter cam, allowing viewers to follow Adam throughout the hours leading up to 4. And that's what was the scene during the break. Our guy there made 4 3-pointers, Coach, to win a car.
Yeah.
Brand new Kia.
Honorary member of the Splash Club.
Got to be now.
And that free agent, I can't wait for that free agent show.
What are your Texans doing, man?
That's
are
my
you privy to that, or what?
I want A.J. Boye back. I think he's a great cornerback. But then the looming question is, where is Tony Romo going to end up?
Hey. Dallas Cowboys cutting them loose.
That doesn't seem right.
Yeah.
It's the same with Peyton Manning. You know, it's probably the right thing, but
yeah,
still doesn't seem.
It's a tough spot with the year that Prescott had.
Boy, what a year he had.
Ooh. If he's in a Texan uniform, you'll be okay with it, though, right?
Oh, like we're the favorites to win it all next year. I hope you know that.
Curry a little bit strong. McAdoo kicks it out. Livingston, and he walked with it. Changed his pivot feet. That's the 10th turnover for Golden State. Horford and Rozier come back into the ball game, and Isaiah going to get his customary end of third quarter rest. They just overturned a moment ago a 3-pointer during the last break by Klay Thompson. Decided it was a 2-point field goal. Pardon me. Yeah, it was Klay Thompson. 2 minutes to go in the third. Horford kicks it out to Rozier. Battle underneath, and Barnes comes out with it. Curry on the drive. And Steph Curry up to 20. Jaylen Brown got ripped but fouled in the process by Matt Barnes. And Brown going to go to the free throw line for the Boston Celtics, as I mentioned, back in the Bay Area where he attended Cal Berkeley. Brown, a 69% free throw shooter, missing the first. Well, this week our NBA Saturday primetime game on ABC, battle between two of the best teams in the NBA. Two top records go head-to-head. Steph, Kawhi, Warriors, and Spurs. Coverage tips off with NBA Countdown at 8. The biggest games of the season, biggest stars of the NBA, every Saturday night on ABC.
I don't think any team has overachieved more relative to their talent than San Antonio. I mean, you look at it. I mean, they're getting guys like David Lee making a huge contribution tonight. He played very well. I just think they have some limits talent-wise, but not as Olenek with the cut and basket. But what they do is they play great defense. They're huge. and they do not beat themselves. They play smart, sound basketball.
Yeah, you talk about surprises. Dwayne Dedman, who you'll see Saturday night, has made a huge contribution this year. Livingston with that turnaround jumper off the mark. Under a minute to go now, and a 2-for-1 situation here for the Celtics with 36 seconds to go. Going to try and post up Smart again. Horford cross court to Brown, who loses it. Curry from downtown. And Curry fouls Marcus Smart. And that's going to put the Celtics on the free throw line with 18 seconds to go and a chance to take the lead.
Well, Smart, who sometimes plays as a point guard, mix up in transition by the Warriors defensively, but a nice find by Smart.
Smart from Flower Mound, Texas, out of Oklahoma State. Coach Stevens telling us in our pregame meetings that he has really bought himself a lot of equity with his teammates, the result of his toughness. Marcus Smart, a pretty good defender. As Avery Bradley comes into the ball game. Do you think Boston has a realistic shot of catching Cleveland, Coach?
No, I think Cleveland's too good. But I think they'll be pushed in the second round by somebody. Whether it's Boston or Washington or Toronto, I think those three teams, I don't think they can beat them, but I think they can give them a good push.
Curry with the fake on Jaylen Brown, drills it! He got the rookie up in the air, and Curry with a little something to say afterwards, expressing himself to the rookie. Put him in the blender here, Jeff.
Great shot fake after the pickup. And the three at the buzzer.
That's for you, young fella. Back after this.
Welcome back to Oakland. Steve Kerr, you guys have had some big third quarters this season. Why was it difficult to gain traction in this third quarter?
We're playing a great team. You know, they're good defensively. They make it tough on you. On offense, they spread you out, and it's just a really good competitive game.
We saw a new version of the small lineup for you guys, including Matt Barnes and James Michael McAdoo. What did you see out of that group?
Well, we have a lot of versatility with that group, a lot of switching. McAdoo came in and did a good job. He was only out there a couple minutes, but played good defense, and Matt's been a nice addition to our team.
Thanks a lot, Steve. Let's go back to Mark Jones and Jeff Van Gundy for the fourth quarter.
All right, thanks a lot, Jay. And the Warriors turned it over and unable to score on the next possession of the fourth quarter. Celtics down by 2, trying to snap their 2-game losing streak. Marcus Smart ties the game and knocks it at 74. Keep in mind that Boston actually leads the league in fourth quarter scoring, and Isaiah Thomas, the league's most potent fourth quarter scorer, is on the bench here to start the period. Jaylen Brown with the ball. Nice feed inside. Olynyk draws the hit from Livingston and will go to the foul line. Foul's going to go against Draymond Green. That's his third. There's a look at the numbers. Celtics clutch wins.
They have been in an inordinate amount of close games. And Isaiah Thomas has been the difference.
Yeah. Been fun to watch. You know, Isaiah Thomas actually, during the recruitment of Golden State's Kevin Durant, struck up a friendship with Tom Brady of the Patriots, who was called in to bolster the representation group of the Celtics. Although they didn't sign KG, Isaiah Thomas and Brady became good friends and frequently exchanged texts.
Do you see what Brady eats? Like, he's starting this meal thing, and like, he eats like the craziest. Like, he doesn't eat anything like that tastes. I don't think he's had a French fry or meat.
Oh, he's into like that kale and all that.
Yeah, he's got all this really healthy, no gluten, no dairy, no sugar.
Quinoa and all that stuff?
I don't know, but my goodness.
Well, it's working for him, I guess.
I would say so.
I don't know if he wants to put that stuff on Isaiah Thomas, though, his buddy. Off the mark, and here comes Golden State. Livingston backing down Rozier. West inside, kicks it out to Iguodala. And they turn it over again.
Boston's defense has been terrific here tonight.
Horford back out to Olynyk for 3 and off. Boston up by 2. Isaiah Thomas still on the bench. Thompson for the lead. Boy, Crowder got to the ball first. And Draymond Green called for the kick ball. Shot clock at 17. 9:13 to go. Celtics looking to avoid the season sweep at the hands of the Warriors. Horford with a mismatch against Thompson. Green comes over to help, then gets back. And Green with the board off the Horford miss. Green against Olynyk. West whistle and a foul underneath. No basket. Timeout on the floor.
Been 14 months since the Warriors lost a home game. Curry, fake it, take it, make it! Draymond from the top, triple time. Thomas has it, goes to the basket and scores.
Way behind the line, it rims out, and it's over. The Boston Celtics snap the longest home court winning streak in NBA history.
Curry's still on the bench here in the fourth quarter. And the Warriors haven't scored, Coach. What do they have to do to get things rolling a little bit here?
Well, again, they have some limitations offensively right now, but when they move it like that, quick decisions with the ball, you can overcome Curry on the bench and Durant being hurt. Excellent pass by Iguodala.
Tied at 76. Horford with a nice show and go. And a soft touch inside.
So many bigs are now shooting that floater. You see Draymond Green shoot it some. Horford. It's such an effective shot, but you really have to work on it, on the touch part of it.
Here's Ian Clark out top, over to Iguodala. 7 on the shot clock. Nice cut by Thompson, drew the hit, and almost had himself a three-point play attempt.
And that body position defensively by Rozier is what they don't want. He was trying to get up above him to try to deny a pass. Leaves him open for the back cut and what could have been a three-point play.
Instead, it's Thompson at the foul line. 86% from the stripe on the season, surprisingly misses. And Mr. Fourth Quarter, Isaiah Thomas of the Boston Celtics, the NBA's leading fourth quarter scorer, checks into the game with 7:45 to go. Thompson goes 1 for 2. Bradley off the Jerebko screen. Boy, Thomas hit the brakes and lost Thompson, but missed the shot. What a pass! Andre Iguodala, a wizard with the pass.
That's his second pass in this fourth quarter that led directly to the Green dunk.
Olynyk faked the dribble handoff and got Thompson to fall for the fake. And Iguodala. As Curry gets up off the bench ready to check in for the Warriors. Olynyk with 17 tonight. Out of bounds, and it's Boston ball.
Well, he's so good at pushing it, probing, and then being able to deliver. That's just point guard-esque type skill.
And Steph loved all of it as well. Andre Iguodala, described by Steve Kerr as always the adult in the room. Extremely high basketball IQ and really works well with some of the younger players on this team, in particular Patrick McCaw of late. Curry back in the ball game. Green, Thomas. Boy, it looked like he downshifted into slow motion. Curry lost the handle with nobody near him. Crowder from downtown, wet. And Jay Crowder gives Boston a 4-point lead. And Steve Kerr wants to talk it over with Celtic fans and a little bit of green littering Oracle. Steve Kerr is going to have to draw one up here. Good one.
Well, unforced turnover leads to semi-transition. The skip by Thomas and the three by Crowder.
Hey, after our game, catch SportsCenter at night with Scott Van Pelt. Everything you need from the NBA Championship Week, NHL Spring Training, WBC, and NFL news. Out of timeout, here's Curry. Under 6 minutes to go. Iguodala shoots it over the top of Jerebko. And that bench crew led by Iguodala that was so prolific against Atlanta with 55 points tonight, with only 15 and being outscored by Boston's bench.
And down 4, no Draymond Green and no Klay Thompson right now.
Olynyk got it back, 3 on the clock. Crowder made the last one and knocks that one down and home as well. This is the largest lead of the game for Boston at 7. Bradley with the overplay on defense, the steal and the slam, the lead swelling to 9 with under 5 minutes to go, and a 10-0 Boston spurt has them out in front. Olynyk rips Curry. Bradley on the move. He couldn't get it off. Out of bounds. It'll stay Celtic ball.
Crowder, 2 big threes tonight in the fourth quarter. This one off a scramble situation.
And back to the action. Isaiah Thomas knocks down a bank shot. And the lead is up to 11. Steve Kerr calls timeout. First game home for the Warriors after 8 days and 5 games. Oracle doesn't look like home at all. All right, let's take a look now at tonight's Game Changers, brought to you by Jim Beam.
Well, it's been Jay Crowder's 2 threes here in the fourth, both with the shot clock running down and then off the baseline out of bounds. Probably the best look Isaiah Thomas has had here in the second half, wide open.
Look at the numbers, man. 6 turnovers by the Warriors here in the fourth quarter alone. And being outscored 18-5 in the period.
And Klay Thompson and Draymond Green back with Green at the center position.
Curry missing the 3. And Steph Curry tonight Now 2 of 9 from downtown. Thompson not much better, 2 for 8.
And the team 5 for 28.
Thomas guarded by Iguodala. Stare down 3 is pure. A 15-0 Boston Celtic run has the leading by 14. That's going to be a kick ball against Olynyk, and much to the protestations of Avery Bradley, who was right there.
There should be a rule change. If Olynyk strips Steph Curry, it doesn't matter how it happens. Kick, whatever. It's
Any
all
part
legal.
of the body's okay?
It's all legal.
And finally, Draymond Green finds the range from downtown. He's 1 of 6. They got a lot of work to do, the Warriors do, down by 11. Thomas backs up, pulls up over McCaw, and Thompson clears. What a screen, and well, what an offensive foul by Draymond Green, who calmly scratches his chin and refuses to get into it with Mike Callahan. That might tell you something.
It looked illegal to me. That's,
yeah.
That's an easy one. I mean, he didn't protest because there's nothing to argue about.
Draymond Green's technical foul count is rising. That becomes a factor, especially at playoff time. And actually, they start over, but 11-point lead. Jerebko, a little indecisive. And Green providing resistance at the rim. 3 minutes to go. Golden State down 11. McCaw on the drive. And the rookie bringing the Warriors a little bit closer.
Stop, scores. Every time, play the next possession the right way. Okay, let's go.
There's time. There's plenty of time, all right? Get a score and a stop. See what happens, all right?
Well, so far, Stephen Clay non-impactful here in the fourth quarter. Marcus Smart out front. Green switches on to him. Active hands. Horford against Thompson. Green double teams Crowder. He had made 2 in a row, but missed that time, and Smart got the loose ball off the tip. And another valuable possession late. Thomas on the drive. Got blocked. It kicks out to Bradley. Crowder again. And again, the Celtics another loose ball rebound.
And that's not the forte of Boston, is offensive rebounding. So those extra possessions are critical.
And Curry got caught on the reach. Isaiah Thomas claiming he was in the act of shooting. But Mike Callahan disagreeing. It'll be Boston side out of bounds. Under 2 minutes to go. Bradley. Horford almost had it tipped away. Bradley rising up and drills the mid-range J. An 11-point lead with 1:40 to go for Boston. And the Warriors turn it over again. Turnovers have been the bane of Golden State here in the final 12 minutes.
And this is offense by accident, but these are the type of plays you need to make on the road. Loose ball, throw it out, big shot by Avery Bradley, and they're looking to see if this is a clear path or not.
Boy, Coach, I'm not sure how you explain 8 turnovers as we take one more look. 8 turnovers by Golden State, and we haven't even played the entire quarter.
Right, so I think that'll be a loose ball foul. But
clear path, yeah.
No, I don't think it'll be a clear path. I think it'll
so?
just be loose ball.
Oh, wow, okay.
Because I don't think Thomas had possession.
Control.
But listen, this has been very good defense and also some carelessness on the Warrior part.
Hey, folks, don't forget, League Passes, your courtside seat to action from around the league. Take advantage of half-season pricing and smart watching live games now on your TV, computer, or phone with NBA app. Oh, Isaiah Thomas going to the free throw line. And for what it's worth, not that it was a big deal to the guys inside that Celtic locker room, but all seems to be okay in the Celtic world in wake of that little verbal shot, perceived shot that Thomas stated in wake of the loss against the Clippers. Curry and Thompson come out of the ball game. Is that a white flag move?
It sure is.
Gotta be, right? Down 12, 1:36 to go. And the land where you always think you have a chance here at Oracle, with one of the best three-point shooting teams and a couple of MVPs on the roster. Won't happen tonight, seemingly, for Golden State. Thomas gets called for the hold. And they're going to have to pack their bags and jump on the plane and head to Minnesota for a game on Friday night, and then play the next night on ABC against the second best team in the NBA, the San Antonio Spurs. Boston closing out this game on a 19-5 sprint right now. And this is as good a win as they'll have this year.
Holding this team, think about it, Mark, holding this potent team to 84 points, an incredible accomplishment.
Thomas missed, and Bradley had his back. A couple of guys from the Seattle area played AAU basketball together, teaming up, and Boston leading by 15. And this is going to be actually the end of a streak that was 56 games long, where Golden State scored at least 100 points at home. Kevon Looney at the line. And Boston's going to make it 2 in a row at home against the Golden State Warriors, which in this Splash Brother era is very rare. Denver did it back in 2013. So the San Antonio Spurs will be just 1.5 back of Golden State when we close the night on games here in the NBA. Jaylen Brown. Barnes with the rebound. Boston will earn its 41st win of the season as Clark gets the bucket. Against 24 losses, Golden State's going to fall to 52 and 12. You know, Golden State had hit its low for points in a game against Chicago on Thursday. They hit another low here with 86 tonight. Only 12 points in the fourth quarter, and Isaiah Thomas smiling again as Boston wins it 99-86. Thomas closes out the game with 25 points. Olynyk off the bench with 17 as we go to J.A.
Thank you, Mark. Isaiah, last season you ended the Warriors' 36-game home winning streak. Tonight you ended a streak in which they had scored 56 straight games in which they had scored at least 100 points. What was so effective about your defense tonight?
We didn't want to turn the ball over. We know if they got in transition and got open threes, they'll get going. In this crowd we were going, we wanted to defend them in the half court. We believe in guys like Avery Bradley, Marcus Smart, Jay Crowder, and Al Horford, who should be first or second team all defense. We believe in them in the half court, and they did the job.
Tonight, you didn't have to do all the damage in the fourth quarter. Only 7 points for you in the fourth quarter. How are your teammates able to make up that difference?
We're fighters. We compete. Guys competed. Kelly Olynyk had a huge game. Al had an all-around game. Avery played well. We're just a bunch of competitors that love to compete, and we want to win. We was on a 2-game losing streak.
You got Jeff Twist giving you the James Brown cape there. You weren't happy with the way things went the last 2 games. What turned it around for you and made such a difference in the fourth quarter tonight?
I don't know. I mean, Coach is going to make his decisions, and I believe in Coach. I trust him. He gives me the ability to go out there and be myself, and I trust him in every decision that he makes, and he made a good one tonight, and we won.
Thanks a lot, Isaiah. Our regular meeting spot on this floor.
You know, we can make it an annual thing, hopefully.
Thanks a lot.
More information on the Providence Foundation.
So the bro fest between Isaiah Thomas and Coach Brad Stevens back on. Not that it ever was put on pause. He got a few votes in for his teammates for all defensive team. Bradley, Jake Crowder, and Marcus Smart. We got you, Isaiah. The Warriors certainly got your point tonight, as Boston wins it 99-86. For Jeff Van Gundy and J.A. Adonde, Boston goes to Denver next before heading home. You'll see them Sunday on ABC. Right now, though, good night and thanks for watching from Oakland.